All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining, I really appreciate it. I'm Dr. Sage, and today what I'm gonna be going over, a little bit about like what International Training Institute of Health is and what we do, and then I specify in Wolfe Non-Surgical. And so what my kind of background is I've been doing Wolfe Non-Surgical for about 13 years in total, but I've been training for 10. I got certified as a personal trainer when I was 18, and I did that until I was about 20. I kind of fell out of it because I liked going to the gym for myself, not like just focusing on training other people. You only have so much time in the day. And then got certified as a whole life coach. I took a couple of nutritional programs out in Vancouver. And then I also got certified just from like some Australian energy worker on how to just do energy work and keep things flowing through the body as we kind of release, because no matter what we deal with in the body, when we're dealing with scar tissue, crystallization, calcification, any kind of issue, no matter what, you're gonna have some form of emotion tied into that tissue. It could be positive, but most of the time it is negative, because as I'm healing, I don't just heal overnight. So I was happy this moment, but how was I over the past couple weeks? How was my relationship with my wife? How was my relationship with my kids, my workspace? What was I thinking about myself? And then what else was I putting into my body at the time of me healing? All those kind of thoughts and feelings and emotions can get tied into low integrity tissue. And it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has a weak link. For you, it could be your shoulder. For you, it's your knee or your hip or your bowels. Everybody has a weak link, and some people have multiple, depending on how long we've let this cascade of unhealthy healing go. And so I deal with scar tissue and crystallization. What is that? So we go about our daily lives, living, just doing our regular stuff. If I am at a computer and I work at a desk all day, clearly I have stagnation in my shoulders and I don't have a lot of mobility. If I'm a construction worker, I'm clearly doing heavy lifting and hard work, and maybe I'm not eating properly or hydrating well. If I'm a dancer, no matter what job you have, no matter what we do, we're meant to grow old, we're meant to die, we're meant to slowly deteriorate. But people love speeding up that process. They love getting old quick. And either it's some bad belief programs that we've had instilled into our subconscious mind because that's all you think you're worth, or we really just don't want to be here anymore because the life we're living is as good as it gets. But is that what you truly believe? Do you believe deep down that you deserve to heal, that you deserve to feel longevity and healthy every day? If you have like any self-doubt, any weakness in your mindset where it's like, I try, but I'm just not there, then you're never going to be there. You already have to put your headspace in that healing realm, and you already are healed, because we're having all these setbacks all the time. From our friends, our family, our own bodies are attacking us because we don't give it the right love it deserves. And so what we do is first, normally we'll go into nutrition. That's why we do the whole life coach first, and that's what we do for the New World Practitioner training. So you'll come out and you'll get certified as a whole life coach, or you can just take it for yourself. And it's learning how to deal with your emotional. It's learning how to deal with the nutritional. And because everybody's body is different. You may be 2 type A's, but cucumbers might agree with her, but they might not agree with you. Why is that? Because it's just where you kind of grew up. It's your natural biome of where your body's at. Maybe over time you could get accustomed to it, but it just doesn't agree with you. And so we have to cater to a perfect day diet. Everybody's perfect day is different. So that's why we have practitioners like us who create a perfect day for you or your family members or your friends. And your perfect day is going to change, because I change constantly. And I'm going to adjust that. What are my goals? What are my aspirations? I keep having to push forward, and I'm going to change my perfect day. Right now I'm pretty sick, so I have to do this plethora of products, all these at-home therapies. I get to a certain health level, all this stuff starts to diminish. You're really not putting that much energy into, other than spending maybe an hour a day with yourself, doing some nice stretching, making sure you're hydrated, putting in the right proper foods. But we dumb ourselves down so much that the inflammatory foods and the lifestyle that we're living causes the scar tissue, causes these little ailments that when you sprained your ankle as a little girl, it was fine when you were in your 20s, in your 30s. Now that I'm 45, now that I'm 60, why is it really starting to ache? It feels weak. Because over time, things start to calcify. They start to dehydrate even more. Think of a piece of meat. If I just take a nice fresh steak, butchered the cow, take the piece of steak, left it on the counter, what's it going to look like in a week? drive hard rock. So if I don't give you proper nutrients, so you're not eating good essential fatty acids, you're not getting good amino acids, you're not getting proper, you're not getting proper sugars, because sugar is so important. But what do we feed ourselves with? Carbs and processed sugar. Then we have, because sugar has the right and the left spin, people are like, even cancer patients will be like, oh, I can't have any piece of fruit. You can definitely have a piece of fruit. But if you don't think you can have a piece of fruit that it's going to feed your cancer cells, where my mind's at already, I wouldn't do it. Because then maybe you're already eating that piece of fruit that would be good, would be beneficial. But now that I'm already in a fight or flight state, when I eat it, my body won't take that on. It's like, and there's so much scientific proof to this. There's wineries out there that play music to the wine to make the wine more high vibrational. So if I look at a piece of food, and I tell people to do this test all the time. If you don't believe in frequency, you will after this. Take a bowl of rice and another bowl of rice. Have it just soaking in water every day. And if you have kids, it's good to tell your kids to do this. Tell your kids every day, tell one of the bowls of rice, I love you, you're beautiful, you're great. And then tell the other bowl of rice, I hate you, you're ugly, you're stupid. You will see that it goes brown 3 times the speed that the other bowl of rice will. Why is that? Because everything is frequency. When I tell you I love you, you look great today, how'd that make you feel? If I say you're stupid, why are you doing that? How'd that make you feel? Everything has a frequency. So if I carry myself throughout my day, because you have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and you realize that I would say 75 to 90% of those thoughts are negative, and you're repeating those thoughts 95% of your day. The same thoughts every single day. If that's not insanity, I don't know what is. And so if we're not working every single day to change our programs, to change our beliefs of my patterns of how I think, how I feel about myself, I'm never going to be beneficial to me, which the people around me, if you have family, you have friends, you have a spouse, they're not going to be happy either. And it's not your job to make them happy, but it's your job to make you happy, but you're making them miserable by you being miserable. So it's like a vicious cycle. But, so, scar tissue crystallization and calcification. My body, I have healthy connective tissue. Beautiful, healthy connective tissue. When I was nice and young, a baby. Great. I go play some sports. I don't hydrate enough. Even young children can start to get scar tissue crystallization and calcification. Why does that 12-year-old have really bad back problems now? They didn't when they were younger, because what were their parents feeding them? How were they hydrating properly? Were they getting the proper hydration? And also, what was their home space like? But so healthy connective tissue. You go to soccer practice or you're at football practice, oh, you get hurt. I feel like I kind of tore a muscle a little bit. Just a little, it's fine. You can go to the gym and you can tear muscle all the time, but you can build it properly. You're still going to get lack of mobility and range of motion because we're building up minimal amounts of fascia and scar tissue. If you look at a piece of steak and you see the white lines between the pieces of steak, kind of like that tendony fibrous tissue, that's fibrin. So fibrin goes in to kind of mend stuff together. So I damaged this, so now fibrin's coming in and it's mending that together. Okay, fine, but I was healthy when I did that. When the kid breaks his arm, when he sprains his ankle, when he tears his muscle, the doctor's always going to say, it'll be stronger in the area, because it should for that young being, because they were just closer to that higher power. But we're not that close anymore. We're getting closer to the other one. And so I tear, I don't have the proper nutrients, I don't have the proper hydration, and it's not even just that. I'm pissed off because I'm an adult now, and the kid, when he broke his arm, he was so excited to get that cast. All his friends were going to sign it. He's in a parasympathetic state. He's releasing his daily dose of gentle, loving chemicals for his body, and that's going to be your dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. That is what heals you. And then, nope, I'm pissed off because now I got to take work off. I can't go to my soccer practice, can't get off the couch. It's just going to be like this. And now my mentality is going to mend that tissue with histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol, because I have lactic and uric acid in there with that fibrin trying to mend, but that histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol now binds that stuff, and it becomes like a crystalline. And so scar tissue is the umbrella. It's like crystallization, scar tissue formation, which will be masses of fibrous tissue balling up. And then you let it go for so long. Why am I growing a second toe? A bunion is a bone, but it's a bone spur. It's not a bone spur, it's calcification. It's just the names we give these things. And so it's just calcification. You made a bone on top of bone. I have a little, like, I've damaged my low back a lot. I need more work on my low back. I feel really great, but I can feel greater, and that's the thing. People are like, oh, I'm pretty good where I'm at. That sucks. I don't ever want to be good with where I'm at. I want to constantly progress to be better. I'm perfect right now, but I'm going to be better for you guys and get better for me tomorrow. Because strive for perfection, no, it's not achievable. You are great. You are fantastic. You are a light being that shouldn't even be here. It's almost like, it's a miracle that you're here. Why don't you treat yourself like that every single day? And so, anything in the body can get acidic from just your mental state. And then we don't put the proper nutrients and the proper hydration in. And so when you come to our courses, we teach you how to deal with the body from head to toe and deal with that scar tissue formation through that lactic and uric acid binding that fibrous tissue to be crystallization, scar tissue formation, and calcification. And then we have these doctors that are just like so beyond our years that will never understand that, oh, you have a tumor in here. How do you know it's a tumor? It could just be a scar tissue mass, which is what it is. But if I find a mass in there, I have to call it a tumor. It could be benign or malignant, but it's a tumor, so we might need to biopsy that. Why not get healthy and lighten the load? You haven't pooped in a couple weeks. It could just be a hardened turd. But in general, let's get the hydration in there. Let's start moving stuff out. If I find a scar tissue mass in the pubic area, abdomen, or breasts, the average doctor is going to say either you have a fibroid or a tumor. I'm going to say you have a scar tissue mass. Sure, we can call it a fibroid, but if you come in telling me you have a cancerous tumor, it's still a mass of scar tissue and mutated cells encased in toxic tissue. And so what do? I get you on a perfect day diet. I get you getting the right proper nutraceuticals. I get you patting and clapping to cause beautiful stimulation and circulation and lymph flow to that area to help start open up that tissue. We go in with lovingly with non-surgical and we try to change the structure. Because if I get a really healthy biome everywhere else, there's just a foreign object. A tumor is a body of its own. It's an island over here, and it's an angry island. It's a volcano ready to explode. We got to go in and coax everything around to hopefully buffer that down. And then we flush that out, and the body will eat it up. If you created it, you can clearly get it away. But then what causes more scar tissue in the body than anything else? Surgery. Which sucks, because you know what? Surgery is sometimes necessary. You got in a car accident, your hip got lodged up here, they got to do something about that. But like, there's no non-surgical that'll fix that. Those guys are the most miracle workers in that situation. They just saved your life. But it's like, oh, I'm getting old and my hip's getting a little bit tight. Maybe I should go check out what the doctor has to say. You're getting a little bit of bone on bone. Maybe we might look into getting a hip replacement there. But I'm only 55. It's just what happens. That is not just what happens, guys. We allow it to happen through pooping in our pelvis. Dr. Wolfe always says it, and it's hilarious to say, but it's true. You have a lining in your intestinal wall called a peritoneal. It is not thick, but it is strong if it has the right nutrients in there because it's constantly refurbishing itself. But it's not that you had a burger tonight. It's not that you had a steak and a glass of wine tonight. It's that you did it 3 nights in a row this week, and you did that week 49 weeks out of this year. So it's the adding on top. You're not the 80-20, you're the 20-80, if that for some people. I know a lot of my friends and kids nowadays are just even getting sicker and sicker, and I have like 25, 30-year-old friends that construction workers or like they work at a car dealership, and they literally survive off of energy drinks and fast food. And it's like, you guys got 15 years until like you're in bad trouble. Because you could have got away with it 60 years ago. The stuff out here, the stuff in my pocket, which is absolutely mindless right now, me being that silly, but we all do things that aren't great for us. But it's called, you live in the world. I'm here to enjoy. Do I know that getting tattoos are not that great? Yeah, sure. Do I love art and do I love my body and do I want to throw some art on it throughout my lifestyle? I'm going to. But am I going to be mindful about the other things I do? You got to live life. You got to love yourself. And so what makes you happy? What kind of makes you tick? Do the things that are bad but good for you, but really be mindful of those bad things because they add up. They add up. And the thing is, it's easy to create shitty habits. because it's hard to create good habits. It's really difficult to feel that I'm worth it every day. And I fight myself all the time. No, I don't want to go to the gym. I had a long day. Shut up, Sage. You literally need to tell yourself to shut up and buck up sometimes, because you keep putting yourself on the back burner. And then, you know what? Tell everybody else to shut up. Stop listening to others' opinions unless you're going to do something new. Always get a second opinion just to see where you're at. But stop listening to others' opinions, messing with your mindset of where you want your life to go. What do you want your life to look like? Write it down every day. You need to have an action plan of some sort. If you don't, you're like, I hope that I get rich. Okay, good luck. Where is the action plan? I want to be healthy. Okay, so what are you doing to be healthy? Give me some oomph. I want to see the drive, because I don't care. If you're alive, you can live. It's one of my favorite sayings. But most people are living to die. So what I'm trying to get at here is try to stay in a parasympathetic state as much as possible. It's never going to happen all the time. No way. If you were, you wouldn't be here anymore, because we're all here to learn awesome, cool lessons. I'm here to fail. I'm here to get angry. I'm here to get sad. I'm here to have my heart broken. But how long do I want to wallow in that sorrow over having that heartbreak? How long do I want to stay in that toxic relationship just because it's comfortable sometimes? Question yourself all the time. You are your biggest critic, but be it in a loving way. Don't bag on yourself. Observe yourself. And so I want to get back into non-surgical. So surgeries, they cause more scar tissue than anything else. I have girls, and we were just going over, because it was the first day for the non-surgical students today, we were just going over the Da Vinci. 1 out of 9 surgeries out of the Da Vinci comes out half successful. I have had tons of women, I can say at least 5 within this year already, come from the Da Vinci. It is a surgical device that deals with hysterectomies. And so hysterectomies and vaginal cuff surgeries, I've had 5 girls this year where they have anywhere from 3 inches to a foot of their uterus falling out of their vagina after they have the surgery. And so, because it's a robot, guys, there's no love there. There's no care. And so it's, let's go in, let's make some money. It's a corporation that just needs to feed its own appetite. You need to find a practitioner. If you're not going to become your own one, you need to find a practitioner that you're going to kind of feel that love with, that's going to make you feel that love about yourself, and you're going to work with, and they're going to push you in a loving way to become the best version of yourself every single day. Because if you don't, like I said, the world is only getting sicker. You're just going to watch yourself and the people around you start to crumble. But the thing is, every family needs but one hero. Be it. If you can be that one hero to just start that spark, you have no idea what the possibility is in our hearts. But we just need to unleash that and have that love for ourselves. And so we deal with every ailment. I don't care if it's you get constant migraines, you have painful lovemaking, you have a hard time holding your bladder, you've had a double hip replacement, you have surgical mesh. And you know what? Surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else. I would push you away from getting an implant any day. If you have an implant, not the end of the world either. But now we know that a foreign object is in the area. So think about a sliver when it's in your hand. It's irritating. And that's I need to brush it over something. Ugh. Now let's put 3 screws about 2 centimeters in diameter with a plate in there. And then not even that sometimes. Sometimes they're going to put cobalt in you, which is going to give you systemic cobalt poisoning, which also is going to, they're going to have to recall that. And if you don't recall, it's going to cause surrounding tissue and bones to disintegrate. So we got to be mindful of that. But just think, so a bunch of massive slivers we just put in, and that's the replacement. And so my body, sometimes with surgeries, you'll hear, oh, my friend had to go get the metal taken out because it was getting rejected. Sometimes if it doesn't get placed properly, the body will reject it. A lot of times it will mend over it though. And by mending over it, you're not healthy enough. You're too old. No offense. If you're over 20, you're too old to have a perfect bone heal like that. With our diets nowadays, it's impossible. So now, you still got a lot of bones in there and a lot of calcium. So I'm going to start taking your nutrients from your actual bodies and the surrounding bones to buffer down the inflammation on that joint. I have to pretend it's now a real joint. So I'm taking my calcium and I'm putting it around the hardware to pretend it's a bone. And the thing that sucks is because when they looked at the hip replacement and they said, oh, it's bone on bone, there's no cartilage left. You know what? There's not that I can see. the cartilage is now masked by displaced calcium covering it. There's still some form of cartilage in there. And if there is, you can't regrow it all back, but it doesn't mean you need to get the surgery. You can strengthen, and that's another thing. With people, when they come in with ailments, I'll look at their joints, and they're like, oh, my knee's really bad. And I'll look at their shape, and I'll be like, it's not just the non-surgical you need to do tendon and ligament strengthening, because you have two weak tendons and ligaments, and so it's not, so ligaments hold bone to bone, tendons hold muscle to bone. And so you need to strengthen those because there's multiple bones in this area. So my knee might feel weak because the tendons and the ligaments are weak. It's not just the scar tissue that's in there. So there's a lot of things that we do. I don't look at you as one thing. You can't come into me and you're like, fix my ankle. I'm gonna be like, what's going on with that ankle and why? Okay, now let's look at you as a whole. This is what I would recommend. You don't need to do it, but I always think it's cooler to become better. I think it sucks to stay stagnant because stagnant causes putrefaction causes infection, and then what next? So, does anybody have any beautiful questions on anything? Health, scar tissue, crystallization, surgeries? We can point back and forth, but just start because we'll all have a question.
So I don't have a gallbladder. I had that removed. I had my tonsils removed. I have a lot of acid reflux.
Yeah.
I'm on Nexium for that. And
You're on what?
Nexium.
Oh no, you gotta take that out. All you gotta do is go to baking soda. Baking soda.
Okay, so I went to a naturopath 4 years ago. He told me I had to do that and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then he gave me all the supplements, and then I did 2 years gluten-free, dairy-free, very simple meals. And then I wasn't feeling well after 6 months, and I went to him and he said, no, continue. So after the second year, I'm like, okay, I don't feel well. I had to stop going to him. And now I'm just finding out last year because the reason why I wasn't feeling well was having tingling, itchy, like lower part.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, last year I went to a allergist and he checked everything and he said that my thyroid antibodies, so the antibodies have to be 35 or less. I'm at 147. So it's really high.
It's really high, yeah.
And the second one, it's called the Wolfe, and then the other one, I'm at 71, and that has to be 40.
Mm-hmm. It needs to drop a bit.
So I don't feel well. My stomach kills.
Okay.
I try to eat everything.
Yeah.
That we can't hear.
I try to eat whatever I'm eating healthy. My stomach hurts. I have acid reflux. So now I went to another naturopath, and they told me that now I have candida.
Oh, for sure, though.
So now she gave me these other supplements, but they're killing my stomach.
No, okay, so, no, we gotta, in all honesty, we just gotta stop that stuff right now. So I'm just gonna touch on what she said. Gallbladder removed, major acid reflux, leaky gut. They say she has candida. She does, so do you, so do I. But, so, what? Everybody has a bit of candida. It's impossible, but the thing is you can have like an outbreak of candida where you have major psoriasis, you got eczema, you get itchy butt at night. Like all these little things would be, okay, you're a fungal girl. But I can see you definitely have a lot of parasites because I can see you're hollow in here. And so something's going on in your ileocecal valve and cecum. That thing is getting either jammed shut or open and you're getting back up.
It's open because I had
So it's stuck open right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's getting back up where undigested food shouldn't go where it's going and digested food shouldn't be going there either. And so it's kind of filtering back and forth. That's another thing causing the leaky gut. So you damaged your peritoneal so much to that degree that you have little holes now in your intestinal wall. That's fine.
Right.
You're literally okay. But we can't be giving you a lot of supplementation right now. That's absolutely silly. Where's the absorption if she has holes everywhere? So what we need to do is we need to clean house. I need to get you on a daily cleansing tea. I need to get you on a really fresh and raw diet, but it's not gonna be salads. You're gonna be on like steamed, very steamed vegetables, smoothies only, stuff that is just like digestible like that. Because I can't put in something that's gonna be a hard-working digestive right now.
Right, because I don't have a gallbladder either, which I can't really.
You don't have the bile to help break that stuff down even more and absorb.
That's right.
But But that's not the case because it should already be almost like done by that point. So, because it goes from the stomach, small intestine, then it goes through everything else.
Okay.
So, through the small intestine, it should become almost multified. And in general, we need to clean house right now. So I would get you on a series of coffee enemas, and I would put you on a program for that. And then not just with the coffee enemas, you're gonna do the daily cleansing tea. You're gonna put the black gold in your smoothies, so you're getting more nutrient absorption and we're chelating more toxicity out of the cells. And then I would have black diamond in all your waters and make sure you're only drinking hot water. It's really, really hard to get dried ketchup and egg yolk off of a plate with cold water. Tell me if I'm wrong. So if I crank that water up and it doesn't need to be scalding hot, but like warm. How do you think we get that mucoid plaque off these walls? And so we gotta get warm water going in there. I might even put a sprinkle of cayenne and a little bit of honey in there in the morning just to really get things going. You get acidity quite often in the morning, first thing in the morning and in the evening. This will be even before your daily cleansing tea, just to neutralize and get you out to a solid base. I'll take a half a teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of water and you're gonna drink that down, neutralize the acidity so you can go about your day. You eat a shitty meal and you start getting acid again, you do it again. You're gonna burp and fart a little bit and feel a bit better. So
you're saying to take that, what's it called, baking soda?
Baking soda.
First thing in the morning.
Anytime throughout the day. The thing is, if you took it so often, you'd end up getting like really leaky bowels, almost like taking like a surplus of magnesium. Oh, it's totally fine. Totally fine. Go get it. Just go to the natural health food store. Go get a nice organic baking soda. I've drank it since I was 7 years old. I'm still here. Don't worry about it. And so, in general, we got to clean house first. We got to get proper nutrients going in the proper meal. So you need proper absorption. You can't eat tough food like that. That salad, no go. No, but it's good. It is. You know what? That's a great salad in 3 months for you. In 3 months, 90 days.
So it's not that it's like
No. Because the thing is, I might throw because what if she starts?
What do you think of not having gluten and dairy and all
I think no gluten and dairy right now is fantastic.
Okay.
That is wonderful because you already have holes in your intestinal wall.
that's the big
Yeah.
So I did another test that actually showed that I had candida. It's called like a sensitivity test.
Yep.
So I was allergic to most of everything.
Yeah. You were probably no because the thing is, the more toxic you get, the more sensitive you're gonna get.
Exactly.
So you've created allergies. You don't have all these allergies.
Exactly.
That's not a real test.
But how would I have created that if I saw a naturopath and they did gluten-free and dairy-free for 2 years?
Because you were throwing still in supplementation and doing gluten-free and dairy-free while you still were having malabsorption. And so you were putting salads into an area that had, pardon my French, old shit in there. So what happens if I put salad on top of a manure pile? It's going to putrefy and cause even more candida and infection. So you know what? You can eat all the salads you want in the world. If you're way too back up and not constipated. Constipated is when the bowels are inconsistent. I'm having diarrhea. Today I had to squeeze out a turd. I didn't poop. Most people are compacted, where it's just like I'm not moving well. So if you're compacted and I put salads into you, you're literally going to continue to rot. So I'd almost rather just almost a little bit of water fasting. You get like smoothies. You can have some berries because you can break them up and it's like a mush by that point. It's baby food. You get baby food for the next 3 months. What?
It's okay, but I mean,
The thing that's nice about Italy, be mindful while you're there, but they have cleaner food than any day, anywhere around the world.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you can eat shitty in Italy and it's still healthier than eating healthy here.
I have to rate everything
No
healthy.
GMO.
Yeah.
It's on Facebook.
Yeah. It's just on me. Any other questions? And the thing is, before I leave tonight, take my number down and just contact me and I'll give you some tips and tricks. And you guys are in this area though, so you'll end up kind of seeing these girls, guys, whoever. But maybe if I'm around more. But text me.
Well, first of all, thank you so much to all of you for doing all this. And
Oh, it's our pleasure.
I brag about this new discovery,
She
the
brought me
Wolfe
here.
family, and
Oh,
so
lovely.
I said, please, you have to come. And I told about a few of the products. So I mean, I take a lot of my husband and I would take a lot of things, but
Yeah.
this just kicked it up like, you know, like crazy. And of course, I'm going to take drinking wine. I like, you know, but we put it through the structure.
Hey, you put it in the structure unit.
No
Just with the really expensive wine, only take 3 ounces out of the bottle because you'll diminish the actual taste of the wine because it makes it too flat, so you'll lose what you're paying for.
Oh, really?
No, well,
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm going to have to tell them. Okay, so 3 ounces.
yeah, you'll take 3 ounces, cover the bottom, cover the top, shake it back and forth. I want to hear it go 9 times.
Okay.
Even if I take it, because I run water through it once. The water is structured. Regular tap water is 2,000 molecules per cell when it goes through a tap, and when it goes through the structure unit, it brings it down to 7 molecules per cell. So your body's wasting no energy breaking it down. And there's still, sure, chlorine, fluoride, wherever you're at, there's still heavy metals within that water. But the frequency is completely reversed, so you can't absorb it anymore. Your body's going to dispute that through sweating, peeing, and pooing, but it's going to take on from the water what it actually needs. So if I was going to do like a glass of water, I structured it by running it through once. If I want to supercharge the water, if I was doing a water fast and I don't want to take any supplement, but I need a boost of energy, I'm going to run it through the structure unit 9 times. It'll be like a water Red Bull. It's not at all, but like it definitely, you notice the energy from it. And so I would take my finger on the bottom, hand on the top, and just shake it back and forth so it runs through it a couple of times. Then I'll put that back into the bottle and you're good to go.
Okay, thank you for that. We have a Kangen unit, and I heard Dr. Wolfe saying, oh my God, and it's true. When I put that, the Kangen
No, but if you already have a
structure,
Kangen unit, like it's amazing because now you can mess around with your pH levels too. Because it depends. I normally go 7 to 7.2 because that's the best absorbable water. But like you can go more alkaline if you want. If you feel like you're really acidic, and you can head up into the 9s.
But I put that water through the structure unit, and I find it so light.
Yes, it should be. It should be. Yeah, I want just, and that's a good test. Do that and just, and it's not good, but fill up a glass of just tap water. Chug that glass of tap water. Feel how heavy you feel. Wait 30 minutes. Chug the glass of the structured water. You're gonna be like, I don't feel it.
Can the structured unit be also, okay, I don't know if it's in my head, but I put it to sort of wash my vegetables. Do I add baking soda to that?
You should, because in all honesty, the amount of stuff that's sprayed on our vegetables now, there's no structured water that'll wash it off. So like a little bit of apple cider vinegar and baking soda, and let your vegetables and fruits soak. And then you can just wash it off afterwards. That's a great piece of fruit. The thing is, I tell people, if you're gonna do that and you have like a bunch of apples, don't do it with your bunch of apples, because as soon as you wash the pesticides off, it's gonna rot quicker because it's natural. And so leave it on until you want to eat it. Yeah, and then because you're gonna be like, wow, all my organic food dies so fast. Yeah, and so if you same thing with if you buy inorganic here and there, or if you just can't find organic and you're cleaning your vegetables really well, just do what you're gonna eat over the next day or two, because they'll go bad way quicker, and it's just a waste of money.
I mean, the Kangen water has the acidic things on it.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. Any other great questions? Yes.
I have 2 teenagers.
Okay.
Very difficult at this time. I never thought that. My son just turned 17. My daughter's 20. You know, it's the cell phone, the computer, the iPad all together. Like I'm like, you know what? You need to just move one, move the rest out.
Mm-hmm.
I had an EMF guy come into my house. We did EMF radiation. I had a friend that showed me, like with the cell phone, how his niece got.
Yep.
She got part of her face removed because it was cancer, so she got like a big hole. And it doesn't matter. The kids have heard this.
They don't care.
It is so difficult.
But that's because, I gotta be honest, it's coming from mom.
Mom?
It's coming from you.
What do you mean? I'm telling them not to do it.
Yeah, it's coming from mom.
Okay.
I don't care. Sure, mom, whatever. Don't care. Get him on the phone with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just tell him to call me. Just be like, I want you to talk to this kid. You can call me a kid, whatever, I don't care. Like,
Yeah, and then we got rid of the AirPods, like
Mhm.
those little pods, and I told them not to wear those anymore. But then I see them again when they go to their father's house, they're coming back with it. And I said to them, you were told to use
the wires,
the
yeah.
wires, like you're not
So
supposed to
if
use
anything, like see where they're at, but like have them call me, and then like I would recommend if they're on their devices that much, you got to get them tested glasses. You got to get them tested glasses, change that blue light, and because it actually turns into healing light and it'll help clean their blood.
Okay.
But
On the computer,
Yeah, so like there's blue blockers, that's great, but then there's Tesla glasses, which will actually convert the light into healing light. And so it's going to help clean your blood. It'll actually help with your eyes. They're called Tesla, Tesla. Like,
blue light is the same as the...
no, blue blockers are just blue blockers. You're going to stop the blue light to a degree, to about 75%.
So we also were supposed to see a naturopath. We did a blood analysis. So my son was full of heavy metals. So he had to take his blood out. But he's also a gymnast. He's been doing gymnastics since the age of 4. So he's doing 20 hours of gymnastics.
Yep.
So he basically was like not even been able to hold on to the parallel bars. So I had to say to him, we got into doing the cleansing. So he cleansed his whole system. We did the blood analysis again. And basically he cleared himself up. But now, because now he's like 6'2", he's still growing, you know, he's eating red meat every night. And I'm trying to get him off the meat. And it's so hard because he needs the pasta, he needs the bread because of all this gymnastics.
He does not need the bread.
Okay.
He does not need the bread. Love bread, I love bread, does not need bread. Pasta, carbs a little bit, for sure, especially if he's that age. He needs to be mindful about what he's putting in though, because if he's doing this, his bowels still aren't moving well, and so he's going to putrefy his gut and he's going to have problems down the road. I used to be a professional gymnast as well. I competed in Canada, all throughout BC, competed all throughout the provinces, Canada, and the United States as well. And I took so many of our products at the time, and I was competing when I was 8 to 12, and everybody was like, would always question my dad, what are you doing to his body? Because I was so much more muscular than the other gymnasts. If he wants to actually be a top tier athlete, he's gonna wake up. If he wants to be a lazy sack, he's gonna stay the same. And so a kid like this, I'm sorry, your mom, I don't give a crap about your opinion. That's what he thinks. He loves you, you birthed him, but like at this point, it's so you wanna like just give him my number if he's willing to send me a message. I'll tell you guys at the end. So I'll give you, yeah, that's why I'm like, shut up. We're on live here. Yeah, that's right. I'm like, I'll tell you at the end. But so give him my number if he's willing to like, I'll give him diet tips how you can get big quick, but like get lean big quick, where his muscle density is way purer than anybody else's. And then I can also tell him how to just keep things fresh, because he's not going to give up all the stuff right now. But at least if I can plant the seed to start it right now, you're just pissing him off because it's annoying. This is how I feel good, Mom. And that's
well, I
like,
stopped because
yeah.
You know, you have to pick your battles.
You have to pick your battles.
I eat an egg every single
That's
day.
exactly it.
So it's like, you know, I just go and take his stuff. What are you using? The phone. Okay, I just leave everything else.
Sweet. No, you're doing what you can, and it's beautiful. But like, there's times like when it comes down to stuff like this, you need a little bit of assistance, and you can't bring him to like a naturopath or a doctor who's gonna doctorate him. You gotta like, at this point, I gotta be his friend and be like, dude, I did the same shit. But wake up, because this is gonna come back at you. And do you want to be awesome? Because right now you're pretty mediocre. Like, I'm sorry, you look like every other dude around. Do you want to be part of that very minimal percent? And that's like, at young guys' ages, it starts the fire in them. It makes them want to be something. We all want something. It doesn't matter. But the younger you are, the easier it'll be to get there. And so, yeah, no problem. Anybody else? Okay, so if not, I'm going to start just doing a little bit of non-surgical on some of the girls that came, just to do a spa treatment, and then we'll just hear back their opinion on what they feel, and if they get any relief, or if I make it worse. And that's a joke. And so we could laugh. And other than that, the girls are going to chime in on, Shalu's going to talk about like Cell Sonic and what she does in the area. And then Symren, after I finish the Wolfe surgical course out here in Toronto, we're going to be going into the pelvic restoration. Well, not me, but the girls will be going into the pelvic restoration course. So she's going to touch on that and what she will be doing. So thanks for joining, everybody. And she'll be talking to you.
Want to talk about your Sonic?
Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone and thank you. I'm Shalu and I have my clinic in town. It's called Lotus Life, and you can find my website lotuslife.health, I do have the Cellsonic and the cardiac med bed. So both of them are very, very powerful energy devices. The Cellsonic will actually put 25,000 volts through your body in every pulse. Now you go, how's that possible? Because I can, stick my finger in that socket of 110 and get fried. Well, it does it through the love harmonic, and it goes in and it will decalcify the mitochondria, because at the end of the day, it's the mitochondria that does all the work. And at the cellular level, it cleans up, it provides the energy. And so when we are calcified, when we're not well, the mitochondria that needs to be spinning at 2,500 revolutions per second slows down and is only spinning at maybe 300 or 400 per second. So the Cellsonic will actually decalcify it and get it spinning at the right 2,500. And we've seen a lot of really amazing results with it. I had a lady come in with a 2-inch hard mass in her left breast, and we did the non-surgical and did about 600 pulses, and she messaged me that night that it had shrunk by 80%. And then because the mitochondria was clean, the last 20% just cleared up on its own.
Mitochondria, it's the powerhouse of the cell.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally like what runs our cells.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, and then the cardiac med bed, oh my goodness, like talk about, circulation is the key, right? Perfect circulation gives you perfect health, right? So when our circulation's not good, then everything starts to slow down and disease sets in. So, 35 to 37 hours on this bed, and anyone even with up to 90% blockage in their heart will have a whole new set of arteries. Yeah, and like I said, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. And until you try it, you don't even know what it does for you. I mean, you can go to the gym and try and work out all you want, but just lying there, relaxing and letting it do its work, you get up and you feel like you've had a workout. And it's really, really amazing. So yeah, we are actually in the course right now, which started today, and it ends on the 26th. And on the 28th, we have the pelvic restoration course starting, which Symren will talk to you about. And then we're doing it again in October. So October 30th, we will have, all the courses start again, the whole life coach, the Wolfe non-surgical, and the pelvic restoration course. So if you've been sitting on the fence and, been thinking, this might be a good idea, I would highly encourage you all to check it out and make that decision. And if you don't know what it's about, it's right here in Barrie, yeah? And if you don't know what these courses are about, then give us a call. 705-828-2257 is my number. Or you can go to BraveHeartNation.com, right? And all the information is there. And also in July, if you just want to kind of put your toe in the water and test it a little, we are doing our first healing circle in Barrie. We're hosting our first healing circle, and it's a 4-day, so July 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. And you can test it out just to what it feels like to really connect with yourself. I mean, all of us are just feeling lost. There's a lot of people feeling depressed or anxious or just not at ease with themselves or with what's going on in the world. And we'll walk you through the steps of how it is to sort of, get centered in self, become a little self-centered, to take care of yourself first. Because when you are 100%, you have so much more to give to everyone around you. But as you keep making those withdrawals without any deposits being made, and pretty soon you run out. So, if you're interested in learning about the healing circle, again, give me a call and we can, fill you in on all of that. And someone's going to tell you about the pelvic restoration course.
Do you want to give your number one more time?
Oh, yeah, you can call me at 705-828-2257.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Symren. So the pelvic restoration course will be in Barrie on June 28th to the 30th. And again, to check out the other dates and locations, you can go to BraveHeartNation.com. So my team and I created a unique 3-day course for women only, where you get to learn how to strengthen your pelvic floor and basically take your power back and your health into your own hands. We teach you breathing exercises, physical exercises, and also give you like tools and strategies that you can take home that's easy enough for you to do and be able to monitor yourself and know, okay, that shouldn't feel like that, or oh, that's new. And we give you things you can do, like the vaginal infusion, which will help to clear up any sort of infection that you might get down there in the vaginal canal. So yeah, it's 3 days. You learn a lot. You take a lot away from the course, and you really feel empowered after the 3 days, because we make sure you, like in the first day, everyone's like, oh, I don't know how to do this, or this feels weird. We give you modifications, but by the 3rd day, you don't even need the modifications. Like, as long as you're doing the homework at home, but even just with the 3 days, like we've had in Florida, I was just in Florida in April, and we had an 84-year-old woman come, and from day 1 to day 3 was like, she was amazing, and she was determined. So mindset is a big thing, but she was like, she was killing it. And she still is. Like we do weekly Zooms to support anyone who's taken the course and anyone interested in possibly taking it. We will answer any questions you have, and she has updated us, and she's doing amazing, and she's determined to not feel her age like she did before she came. So does anybody have any questions about the course?
So the pelvic restoration, is that also involved with, I mean, aging children, the way everything just sort of drops, bladder, all that?
Yeah. You learn how to pick it back up yourself, pretty much. Because we go to the gym, we work out our biceps, our triceps. Why don't you work out your internal vaginal canal? And so it's like Kegel's, but beyond.
Yeah, we've mixed the Eastern and Western healing methods to give you the best results you can possibly get. So there's a lot of like the Detox protocols, but we've put a spin on it to help strengthen the pelvic floor.
It's not about dropping. Okay, so no. You can have pelvic organ prolapse, and so that's going to be like where my transverse colon comes down, pushes pressure on my lower abdominal organs. So now my bladder, my uterus are getting pushed on for that to start to fall out. So it's not that just fell out, it's the top stuff first. But then that caused down there to kind of rot out a little bit, and then you can have that integrity, and so the tissue integrity is now weakened.
No. We teach you exercises to help with any sort of like organ pelvic prolapse or endometriosis. Like we give you the tools and strategies so that you can, if you are on it and doing it every single day, as many times a day as you can, just practicing, you will get your results faster. Yeah.
It's an amazing course. I took it down in Mexico, and honestly, like, I mean, it is such a beautiful sacred space with all the women sharing, because
we don't have a vibrating machine in the class, but if you do have one at home, you could certainly try.
That's the other course. That's in the building across the street.
No, I've seen it. There's this thing I follow called Neurosport, and it's for people that have dropped it, and they show that they put them on that machine that vibrates.
Yeah, I'm going to come in here and a bit on your neck.
Have you heard of it?
I personally haven't heard of that.
It's physiotherapist.
Yeah.
Have some sort of vibrating machine that strengthens your pelvic floor.
well, they go through different things tools that you could use that would actually help
But that's
you.
almost like those like ab stimulators. There's this like place you can go to. It's like almost like a new body, but like that's for women where you can sit on. Then there's things that you can place on over top of your core, and it's like an hour session. There is like doing like 6,000 sit-ups. So it's like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like there's stuff out there like that, but no. This is more internal work. It's internal, and then external work. So you do stuff internally and externally in the class. That's why it's another one.
Yeah, yeah.
Pardon? Yes, we will be back in end of November, I believe. Yeah. Pardon? The vaginal infusion. So yeah, so it's we have a recipe of the Doctorate Detox products that you put the mixture together, and you buy this launcher on like Amazon, or just basically like it's about that wide, and it's just a certain. Yeah, you insert it, you keep your legs elevated for 15 minutes. There's a whole, like, we go through it all in the class.
What is that for?
It helps you, so the ingredients in it help to disinfect, like, basically get rid of infection.
Clean up that.
Clean up everything. Like, if you have, yeah, even if you don't have it, it's like, it's about nourishing the area. Nobody nourishes the area. Nobody talks about it. The way we eat food to nourish our bodies, we need to nourish the vaginal canal as well.
Is it good like for dryness and all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you
It's
question?
it is. The vaginal infusions are great for dryness or endometriosis or like yeast infections. Anything you're having down there. The infusion is really great, and especially if you have an infection, you could even do an iodine infusion first. You do them separately, so you do like 5-minute iodine infusion, and then 15-minute vaginal infusion. And if you were to do that like 3 times a day, it depends on the severity of whatever you're dealing with. But the more you do it, the quicker it'll heal. And even if you don't have anything going on down there, you still want to be doing it, because you'll be surprised. Just observe yourself. So, and don't be afraid to like self-explore and get to know yourself, because why rely on somebody else? Like, you should know yourself. So
Yeah, it's a very unique course, and they go through it in such an amazing manner that it's a beautiful walk through the process. And at the end of it, you feel more connected to yourself, more in tune with yourself. I mean, that is our divine feminine power is in our pelvic region. And so we need to really nurture and nourish that to sort of get that back, because, you know, the world's gone upside down. And I mean, you know, where a woman could just used to be a woman, now it's everything. You got to go out there and you got to do your job and everyone else's and take care. It's too much. So it's about just getting back into that power, and in that stillness you'll find the power. And it's amazing how you can still get everything done, but from a whole different perspective of self-love instead of enslavement.
Because we get older, right? So our hormones are totally like non-existent, or and everything changes with it. So what is recommended? Like, I mean, I don't know if that would help, but just to balance the hormones.
personally, I take the infinite iodine to help me with that. I was on birth control for a really long time. Coming off of it, everything was out of balance. I was on iodine. I was doing 20 sprays a day, and finally, after I don't even know how long, I think it took about 6 months. I wasn't on the iodine the whole 6 months, but it took 6 months from when I stopped to balance it out. So the iodine definitely sped up the process.
Because we're all deficient, right?
Yeah. And I started taking the Meg infusion, which that helps in terms of calming me down. Yeah. But yeah, no, a lot of issues happen. Like, the pelvis is a soup bowl. So whatever you're eating, and if it's not healthy, like, you're
It's
just,
not
all
being
of it's going to
eliminated.
fall into the soup bowl, into your pelvis, and it's going to push everything down. So it's very important to have a perfect day diet. Like, again, 80-20. 80% of the time, do healthy, and then 20% treat yourself, but have the right nutraceuticals to kind of balance it out and kind of help you push through or digest the 20% if it's not that healthy.
It's nice that you have that, because it's like, I mean, like you said, that we want to be able to still feel like we're living, but like but then feel like we're being taken care of.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah, enjoy yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you want something and you know it's not the best for you, but just
That's like, you can see the guy who's 75, 80 years old, smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day, drinks beer, as fat as anything can be, but man, does he love living. Why is that 40-year-old vegan have stage 4 cancer? Because they just hate living. So where's your frequency? What signals are you giving off? You got to be mindful. I can be as sick as can be, but I want to be here. You're going to be here, but you're going to be a little sluggish. You're going to get these aches and pains, but you don't even want to be here. But you're trying to do all. I got to do this healthy. I didn't do anything right. Oh my God, my family hates. Okay, you're going to get sick for sure. Like there's no getting around it. So where's your frequency? So I'd rather you be kind of healthy, but super happy, than really healthy and miserable.
Did you want to bring her up and ask her how she was? Or?
She doesn't want to be in the
She
camera.
doesn't want to be.
But she did
We
say
can put a
she
chair.
just
Yeah,
feels like
can
super
we? You
light.
can put the chair here, and you can just tell us, so they can hear you. You don't have to be on the camera.
No, I can talk to here.
Yeah, just because for
Just bring the
Facebook,
camera
come have us.
closer.
It was really painful. It really hurt me at first, but
You feel
now
great
it
now,
feels
right?
wonderful.
Release,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I can hear all this crackling and everything. That was really good.
Okay.
But ask what you want.
So Doc, you're by doing what you're doing exactly.
So I'm just doing spot treatments right now. She says she feels like she had major congestion within her head. So right back here, you have the base of your skull. Everybody can feel that ledge? Yeah, so that ledge at the back, right in the middle, that soft tissue, you have your C1, cervical 1, that comes into the brainstem insertion. Like so much of your information, I would probably say like 40% of the information of like communication, other than what's coming from the gut, is in your spinal fluid. That's how we get communication. That's how you feel like, oh, my brain is like firing off. I'm sharp. I'm there. I don't get brain fog. I don't get like that kind of like weird like drowsiness or like lightheadedness. She does. So she feels congested up here. So I was like, I'm not doing a full treatment. If I was doing a full treatment, I'd open up her temporal bones. I'd come throughout the whole occiput coming along the major sutures. But with her, I was like, I'm just going to touch on either side. We have these occipital condyles. They're these like 2 little nodules back here. And then that's going to be, if I like shot through, it'd be right where my eyes are. And then right in the middle, I touched on her C1, where that brainstem insertion is. And what was that, 7-10 minutes? And she like stops and she was like, it was really painful to go through at the beginning. But right now I feel like really light. My head feels like more clear. And that's just a brief moment. If I could get her on a good diet, if I could get her clapping, if I could get her hydrating, if I could get her getting some non-surgical sessions back here, maybe 3, that would never be a problem.
So question, 7 years ago, I had meningitis.
Yes.
So how would that affect?
So that infection from getting the meningitis, that like whatever bacteria you really had stem in there, we got a bunch of cavities. It sucks because this area has so many cavities. We got our mouth, we have our nose, we have our eyes, and we have our ears. So you had some kind of bad bacteria that's still kind of hanging out in that general area. Could have been in your ear canal or even in the back of your throat. I don't know, because as you go, the mucus can come from here into my mouth, down my esophagus, and it can also like, it all kind of connects even into like, why do you get earwax? And so that bacteria in there is still kind of like resonating, causing inflammation to make you more inflamed, to cause crystallization buildup along those sutures, wrapping itself around, causing that kind of like congestion, fullness. Do you girls have anything left you want to say? Or are you pretty much good?
we're good.
Well, we're just finishing up here. I want to say thank you guys for joining. Have a beautiful day, and we'll catch you in the next one.